There it is. We're official. Oh my goodness. Wait your turn. What are you doing, Liza? You're monkeying around, Liza. All right. So anyway, tonight we're getting real serious here. We're serious about our music here on Earworms. We are, after all, based on music. That's how we got our start. We're doing everything creative these days, but music is still one of our loves. But somewhere someone came up with the idea that, hey, why don't we do the Monkees? And I was like, well, I kind of remember that as a kid. I mean, it was before my childhood, obviously, as reruns, just like they had Gilligan's Island and stuff like that. I just remember it, and I don't know. I was like, well, why not? And so I did some crash research, and I now know more than I did before about the Monkees. And we're going to actually, I think, have a bit of fun tonight because there is a lot to talk about. It is an interesting story behind the creation of the band and then, well, the TV show, and then how the band kind of rose out of that. And, we'll save it for the discussion. But anyway, it should be interesting. So anyway, let's do that. A lot of special stuff happening on Friday night now. And for example, we do have for the first time on Friday, this gentleman. He's staying up real late just for the Monkees. Welcome, Sir Colin of Glastonbury.
No, the Funky Gibbon's a different one. Yes, I vaguely remember the Monkees from my childhood because I am not that old.
Well,
and of course I come from the land that probably gave rise to them.
Really? Well, I mean, you gave rise to the idea over there. The Beatles were the inspiration. Well, let's just put it this way. Yeah, it was A Hard Day's Night was the reason why the creators put together this TV show. And so we're going to be getting into it. And we do have a guitarist, a member of our organization here, and our guitarist, this band member right here, does play his own instrument. Hello, sir. Sir Michael of the Black Mountains or the Smoky Mountains.
Smoky Mountains. Well, good evening, Lawrence.
Good evening. Archer. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm ready to monkey around. I know I look serious in my avatar, but don't be fooled.
Well, we have a special night tonight because this dear lady who joins us every week is actually she comes on camera for her own channel, but this will be the first time that she'll be doing some live camera work here on Earworms.
Wow.
So please welcome Liza Sahido. She's in her cathedral loft right now. How you doing?
Yay.
Yay.
We are not hearing you, Liza. I think you're muted.
You're muted.
I'm sorry about that. Is my
monkeying around already?
Already. Is my volume okay? Am I clipping?
You could probably be a little bit more. But it's not that bad.
I refuse to make a comment about keeping women quiet.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I got an invisible mic here, but you could see the shadow.
No, not the shadows. Oh, sorry. No, okay.
Shadow.
It's not Sunday yet. It's not Sunday yet.
Green screen. Except it's not a real green screen. That's why it eliminates my mic. Yeah.
In our chat, we do have some royalty.
This man commands a quack legion. They wax as high as any in Rome.
X Flavius X is with us.
The man.
Do we have Gavin? I know we had Gavin before the show. He left a few comments. I don't know if Gavin is able to join us tonight. He's up late most of the time. I guess Friday, end of the week, he's exhausted, so he can't stay up late. Or he's doing Friday night tights, one or the other. I don't.
Well, we don't need Gavin to derail our conversation, right? even Gemini caught on about that. So
Yeah. Derailing us with "I warned you."
I warned you that. I mean, it's so disruptive every time he does that.
Jesus Christ! I warned you.
Awesome.
See, unfortunately, I put something in chat and I can't remember what it was, but of course, because it was more an hour before we started, YouTube's lost it.
Yeah, I don't know what the time frame is for that, but people put things in the chat, and then there's a timer, a hidden timer ticking before it'll take them away.
But you people is taking place. It's taking Gavin's place tonight.
Oh.
You people.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Any relation to common people?
Maybe. Maybe.
So there's a 90% chance that's one of two people. It's either Gavin or it's common people. But yes, we do have B-sides coming later. They're doing some Korean kaiju. So we'll probably be done around the time they start. We might overlap a little bit, but we have a redirect set up because that sounds like a special evening of Korean kaiju.
That sounds either food related or absolutely disgusting.
No, it's the monsters, you know. Like,
you're right. Yeah.
You know, the Godzilla sort of monsters are called kaiju, but that's
that's very appropriate. Follow the Monkees with the monsters.
Yeah.
Well, so King Kong. What you're not suggesting
Makes sense.
King Kong, are you?
I don't know.
That picture actually looks like the Monkees.
I think the monkey came first. Well, the ape came first, but King Kong.
Was there ever a band called the Monsters? Is that name
Probably.
taken? Oh.
Well, I'm sure it had to be at some point.
Well, you're making assumptions. Let's do a Google search here.
Well, you can do that.
Googly.
Of course, they'd have to spell it with like differently or something, like the Monkees, the Beatles, Beatles.
Well,
British bands like that. Led Zeppelin, LED. You know, kind of like the past tense of lead as opposed to the actual
They're the
metal
people from the
lead.
country that can't actually spell.
Def Leppard, DEF.
It's a Swiss garage punk band.
There you go.
Swiss
1986.
Wow.
That's about right.
Yeah. Can't take the name Monsters. Can't use
Well, did they purposely misspell it, or were they just stoned?
They're doing like other people do, man.
In this case, it was a sexy soul, and they're probably stoned.
I think it's probably both.
Yeah.
And then there's the animals. They just decided to
Wow,
cover
man,
all
let's
of it.
just. Well, yeah, the animals. But they did not misspell animals.
They just spent all their time at the House of the Rising Sun. So
Yeah.
We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do. That's
Was
what
that the
I think
animals
at work
as well?
a lot. Huh?
Was that the animals as well?
Yeah, that was the animals.
Oh, I'm sure that was.
It was the animals, yes. That's one of my favorite work songs.
What?
That and
Yeah.
Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare.
I've got to get out of this place. I'm not sure if you
The Monkees are a little too happy for the workplace.
Yeah, I tend to associate "Got to Get Out of This Place" with Vietnam, but that may be TV movie. That may be too many.
Oh,
Probably
Ooh.
TV.
was it the zombies? Was I wrong? I could be wrong there.
The
I thought it was
zombies.
the animals.
Well, someone could always consult AI.
Well, our chat
It's
is
usually
more
right about that
accurate
stuff.
than AI. Usually
Yeah.
more accurate.
No, we got a great chat.
Oh,
Now
it's
the
the
Monkees. So here's the thing.
That was the animals.
Oh,
I
okay.
was right.
Well, there was like 2 weeks ago. I goofed. Somehow I
zombies
got
were
it in my
good,
head
too.
that Ridley Scott directed Last of the Mohicans when it was Michael Mann. I don't know.
Oh.
I
Nah,
don't
he was
know.
just naming a group. That's cool. All right. I was confused for a minute because I do get confused sometimes. And the
Yeah.
zombies are good too.
So anyway,
Lot of
the
good
Monkees.
bands.
Now this is a different kind of band. Well, there are some bands. There are musical acts that are made by producers, and there's like a mission involved. It's like, okay, what is going to sell? And it's usually not just music. Usually the music is one of the, things further down the list. It's like a look, it's a style. In this case, they were going off of Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, but they wanted to do it as a TV show. And the idea was, okay, we need to make a kind of Beatles-like band in this TV show. So we need 4 of them, and we're going to give them, somewhat similar haircuts, but like the earlier Beatles sort of thing. And so that was the vision for the show, and it was the mind of 2 gentlemen that came up with that. What is
No,
it?
they weren't stoned.
Bob Rafelson and Bert Schneider.
Not like so.
Yeah, the
Not
creators
at
were a
all.
little different. This wasn't your it was mentioned in one of the documentaries I saw. This wasn't like your cigar smoking executive, just
No.
sitting there. These guys were like,
Harvey
Smoking
not
something
mention.
else.
And I could be wrong, but I'd say they were probably the first to do this. Other
Oh.
people may have done it, trying to emulate, but I think they were the first that did this sort of thing.
Has it ever happened again?
you mean, what do you mean
later on,
this
you
sort
have
of
the
thing?
Partridge Family.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the Partridge Family, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's what you mean by this sort of thing, meaning a band TV show about a band.
yeah,
A band, yes.
TV show, but also they went touring. And
Yeah, like
things
the
that.
Partridge Family was later. That was in the 70s.
Well, I think the plan was really to be a TV show because originally, like, they wanted actors. Like, this is how they selected them. They selected 2 that could sing, but were actors that could actually sing a bit, and that was Micky Dolenz and Davey Jones.
Yep.
And then they picked 2 musicians that could also act, and that was Peter Tork and Michael Nesmith. And so that's how they were selected. But the idea was at first, like, they had Don Kirshner, music mogul there, basically with the music being written by songwriters and then even recorded by the Wrecking Crew, which is coming up in a minute. We have that slide. And so the idea was this was kind of like just out of the box, going to be like their version of A Hard Day's Night for TV. And that was their vision. But they were also a bit of stoned folks as well, so that made it a little bit more fun.
Well, now they picked Nesmith because of the hat.
Just the hat.
No, well, and his smart ass attitude. He
Yeah.
came in with a bag of laundry. Wearing the hat and had a bag of laundry.
We are
I
going
mean, he
to,
basically was doing this to get a break in music.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
As
there-
we'll
there's
talk
Michael
about later,
Nesmith.
Yeah,
It worked.
It
yeah.
worked.
But he came into the Yeah, with that damn hat on, and they said, and they started calling him Wool Cap or something like that.
He was the first
hat.
hipster.
So he's
hell.
sort of a proto Tim Pool with a beanie.
Yeah, from Apple.
Yeah.
No, the Tim Pool, the YouTuber.
Oh,
Always wears a beanie.
But who's the exec at Apple? It's something Pool.
Oh,
What? Oh, Apple Music. The
Tim
Beatles?
Cook. Excuse me, not Tim Pool. Tim Cook. It's another single syllable word with two O's in it. Cook, Pool, Pool, Cook.
Cool, good.
Okay, well, anyway, back to Mike.
Yes, hold it. Yeah, that his mother was what was her name? Betty Nesmith Graham. She invented correction fluid, which later became liquid paper. That was his mom.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for mentioning that. I had that in my notes. Yeah, his mom invented basically liquid paper,
And
whiteout.
I was going to say, yeah,
Wow.
and oh Lord, did she do the water favor? That is
Yeah.
one very, very.
Wasn't
useful.
Davey Jones from Money too? I think wasn't his family. I don't know. Micky Dolenz was from a
here's Davey Jones.
child actor.
Yeah, I mean, him and Jones were supposed to be child actors. Basically, Davey Jones's talk about he was just looking for a gig. You know, he probably had somebody because he didn't describe any stories of being destitute, but
Well, I don't know that he was rich, but
wealthy enough to be coming from the UK and being in Los
Exactly.
Angeles. You know, looking.
Just like I said,
them bloody
like I said-
Brits got all the money.
like I said in the agreement, look at that face and tell me you can't see him.
Oh, he was the heartthrob. He was the Paul McCartney.
Yeah, but also tell me you can't see him walking around San Francisco looking for the nuclear vessels.
Yes.
What?
Yes, for
Well,
sure.
the nuclear vessels.
Yeah.
Come on, you're telling me that's not the reason we got Ensign Sulu.
Wait, was did
You
this
mean
predate Star
Koenig
Trek?
was
Hey?
Chekhov was looking for
Chekhov.
nuclear weapons.
Sorry, Chekhov, not Sulu. Oh God, no! I'm
That's
getting
oh,
Oh no, not that idiot.
Get on with it.
Well, I've done that before. I went on like Jill's channel and said, you know, I messed it up in my head. Somehow in my head, I was thinking Star Trek, you know, would have done 3 seasons when they actually did do 3 seasons. I was thinking just backwards.
Because Chekhov came in at season 2, although theoretically he'd been there in season 1 just in the background.
We got to be careful. There are people out there fact checking things, you know.
Oh yeah,
Right.
and we
Those
wouldn't
people
want
on the earworms were
we
wrong.
wouldn't want to be wrong about anything. I mean, Patrick Stewart was in fact the manager of the band.
What?
No, just sorry. No, never mind. That was another thing that I had really wrong in my head.
Yeah, oh, you're thinking back to your big debacle on
Captain
Excalibur.
Picard?
Yeah.
Yeah. On Excalibur.
yeah.
Someone had told me back in the day that, you know, Excalibur had a young Patrick Stewart in it. Actually, he was only just a few years younger, maybe like 6 years younger than when he did Next Generation. So Patrick Stewart looked like Patrick Stewart. But for some goddamn reason, I got it in my head that he was the young King Arthur, and he wasn't. That was still just, what's his nuts? The guy that played the old King Arthur, too. The same guy. But I was like, I really had to do some real mental gymnastics there to kind of force him into being. I shouldn't even have spoken about it. But anyway, Micky Dolenz. Look at this guy.
Patrick Stewart was old when he was in I Bloody Claudius. He's always been old.
And he's always looked the same. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, you guys were spinning for a moment there.
Some people were born with an
So
air.
yeah,
of
in the TV show, the
wisdom.
Monkees, they had no manager. They had one. They originally had one in the pilot, and the producers decided to take it out. So I was trying to think. I was like, I don't think they ever had a manager in them. I was thinking of the Partridge Family. They had Mr. Kincaid.
Well, the show was so surreal in a way. You know, it was kind of like your MTV reality show sort of crap, where it's like this isn't reality. But it was funny.
MTV actually did air the Monkees, I think, in the 90s.
Wow.
But it was
And
fun.
Monty
I mean,
Python, too.
but it was somewhat surreal. It wasn't like real life, type of stuff. It
I'll tell
wasn't
you
like
what-
the story of a band for reals, so to speak, because they were, I guess, it was different rules of reality. So you didn't need a manager in their reality.
I don't know if it was just the 60s ethic of TV making, but I'll tell you one thing that the Monkees does remind me of, I'm thinking of, and that's Batman. Batman 66.
That is, as in Adam West Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in the real Batman. As in the
Yes.
only Batman.
Yeah.
Because it's the primary colours, the bright colours and the sets and the rest of it. It's very similar production values, I suppose. You should
Oh yeah.
I said, I'm not sure off the top of my head how much of that was
I guess it was the
sort of the method, was a thing of production values for the 60s in studio made shows or anything.
Did not know that.
didn't it also have something to do with the film?
Well,
I mean, because it went from black and white in the 60s to color, and it was like color. I guess, yeah, probably it was the aesthetic too, but I think it also had something to do with the film. But I'm not a film person.
yeah, I mean,
I'm in this space, but I know far less than everyone else. So maybe Flav and what is that? You people might have something to say that we could share with the wider audience later. But look at this, Peter Tork.
Getting
Now
some good
he's
things
one of
in the chat tonight.
who?
I said we're getting some good stuff in the chat.
Yeah. Well, I know we have some knowledgeable people. They should be doing the show. But Peter Tork, he's also American, but he looks like Roger Waters here. But
Roger Waters.
he's kind of got that
maybe.
first
Roger Waters.
Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Roger Waters look.
All righty then.
But now here's the thing. Let's isolate this. So Michael Nesmith plays guitar. Peter Tork, well, you see him playing keyboards a lot, but I think he also plays bass, right?
Well, yeah, in the Monkees, he did play guitar. He was
Oh.
a guitar player.
Oh, I thought it was Nesmith playing guitar.
In the Monkees. I
Yeah.
said in the Monkees, they had him doing keyboards and bass,
Right.
but he also did play guitar.
Okay. Very good.
But he didn't play guitar in the Monkees.
Well, the first year they didn't play the music that was being recorded.
Well, yeah, they didn't play shit for a while.
So
Yeah, it
then,
was
And
like
that
a
pissed
year.
Nesmith off, so yeah.
see that's what I didn't understand when I was watching the documentary. Were they lip syncing at first, or and pretend playing? Is
No,
that what they were doing?
I thought they sang at first. I thought that's the only thing they did on their albums was sing. They did sing.
They did sing, but they didn't play the instruments.
They did not play any instruments
Oh.
on the first one or two albums.
Yeah,
Yeah,
65
and
through
Nesmith
66.
was after them from the beginning.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
when-
that was Don Kirshner. I may have called him Bob earlier, but you know those
No, Don-
executive names, single syllable.
Oh man, Don Kirshner! I grew up on Don Kirshner's rock concert. Yeah, there was Don Kirshner's rock concert on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Had a
he's
lot
the
of
one
great
that
bands
kind of
that
organized the music happenings. He got the songwriters involved.
Oh, he was
in-
the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the man.
but they
That's
were
how he got
upset.
his own show, Don Kirshner's rock concert. He was the man.
But he was also pissed off Michael Nesmith because he wanted to play.
Exactly. Oh yeah, they went at it numerous times.
Yeah, there was one story where Nesmith had punched a hole into a wall in a hotel room and said,
Yeah, I
that could have
think
been your
Kirshner-
face.
Yeah, I think when Nesmith finally got his way, Kirshner pretty much parted ways.
Yeah.
Didn't they fire him?
Well,
Yeah,
Kirshner said on this documentary, yes, it's the only time he was fired.
Yeah.
So were most of their hits recorded by other people? At least the instrumental portion.
The instruments were other people initially.
Okay.
Yeah, it was later on when they put out their own. And yeah, the album that they finally put out that was all them came out about the same time as Sgt. Pepper's.
Headquarters, yes. It reached number 1, and then a week later, Sgt. Pepper's took
Pepper
the number
came
1
out.
slot.
Yeah, bad timing.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was bad timing, but, at least it showed that they really could play.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guess they had to teach Dolenz how to play drums, right?
Yes, they did. Yeah, Davey Jones just pretty much shook a tambourine and sang. But yeah, Micky Dolenz had to learn how to play the drums. They thought it'd be a good idea when they finally got their way and finally went out and toured. They thought it'd be a good idea. I think it was Nesmith that got him. They got Jimi Hendrix to open for him.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the audience basically, I don't know that they booed, but they just, we want the Monkees and screamed and all that shit. And
Hendrix must have been like,
can you imagine
hell?
Jimi Hendrix getting pretty much pushed off the stage? Nesmith, I think, was like livid, but like, what the hell?
no, it's just like, unfortunately, you can't control your own crowd. And it was like, sometimes crowds can be like that.
crowd.
They're into the band they want to see, and they're not as, I guess, musically broad-minded as one would hope.
Well, yeah,
How rude.
the
Extremely
Hendrix
rude.
and the Monkees are like worlds apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was probably not a good call.
Well, it
And
wasn't-
Hendrix probably was like, "Holy shit, what did I get into?"
Did they do that a few times where they actually sort of had other real, if you pardon the quote marks, musicians
Well,
and
back
singers
then
on
you
the
always
show?
had,
Because I
Back
tell
in
you
the
what, that reminds
'60s, they didn't play long. Like the Beatles concerts were like 25 to 30 minutes, so they usually had a whole bunch of bands.
Yep.
No, but what I mean is, in the I can't have said it for once. Did they very often in the show have other real musicians as themselves? Did they sort of ever?
Oh,
play
did they ever play? Well, I think they always just had the records in the background.
Yeah.
But when they actually recorded their own, then they used that. But yeah, they were lip syncing in the show.
Oh yeah,
No,
the show
no,
definitely.
What I'm thinking of is that reminded me of is if you remember the TV show Castle. Every so often, Castle will be playing Castle, the fictional thriller writer, would be playing poker with Michael with a couple of real best-selling thriller authors, and I think Stephen Cannell was in there as well. So they actually sort of real world it. So I'm wondering if the Monkees ever had an episode where I can't think of any '60s musicians that would have been at that level. Real musicians as themselves in the episodes. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, you mean like cameo appearances?
Yeah,
Frank
that's what
Zappa
I'm-
comes.
Yeah,
to
they had
mind.
Zappa. Yeah.
They had Zappa. It was usually to fill in like if they were 5 minutes short and they throw stuff in at the end. Every now and then they actually later on, I think they did have some live concert footage at the end of the show.
Yeah, you might do that, but yeah, usually in the show it's
I don't think they had a whole lot of special guests. It wasn't like Batman where everybody wanted to be the villain.
Yeah. Well, because it kind of sort of helps ground it to say, well, okay, well, yeah, we know these guys are fictional, but hold a second, Frank Zappa's a real person, real singer.
Right. Well, it's hilarious because Zappa played Mike Nesmith and Nesmith played Frank Zappa.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's probably out there on YouTube somewhere, but yeah.
But anyway, the collection of studio musicians that actually played or recorded the music at first, I guess first year or two, might have been like 2 years, was called the Wrecking Crew. And when I was putting this together, I was thinking, wait a minute, I remember a band in like the 80s called Cutting Crew. And I was wondering if that was any relation.
Well, you reckon in your cup.
I shouldn't just ask in general. Let me ask here. Was the band Cutting Crew related to Wrecking Crew?
So there's a lot more forward from there. But
they were not.
But,
these are studio musicians, and I guess this would be a pool of talent, not necessarily recording for the Monkees. This is a picture of.
Oh no, those guys were famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were famous studio musicians. Yeah, they were like the best, the top notch. So, but I kind of forgot. I looked it up. I Googled. I kind of forgot Liberace was on one of the shows.
Damn.
Cameo, Liberace, and Bobby Sherman. Wow. Yeah, they had a few people: Burgess Meredith, Julie Newmar, Catwoman, Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah, Annette Funicello, Terry Garr. Yeah, they had some on there. Yeah, Terry Garr.
Wow,
I somewhat remember that one vaguely.
Well, that was the '60s thing. I mean,
oh yeah.
Stars would appear on things, and that kept going into the 80s a bit, and then it disappeared. Well, TV's disappeared. It's
right.
A different thing now.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of the songwriters here. We have the duo of Boyce and Hart here.
Yep.
Did some songs. Now, some of these were pre the Monkees playing their own instruments, and some post. Obviously, the theme was pre. That was before they recorded their own instruments. And that was, the theme was by Boyce and Hart. Last Train to Clarksville was also by Boyce and Hart. And that was one of the early hits before they recorded their own instruments. Then, I'm Not Your Stepping Stone.
Being as I'm neither a music person nor an American, and there's a reason I point at this, I'm not like to know these faces. I'm seeing from that picture that Boyce and Hart are the guys on the left and the right, and the chap in the middle is a TV presenter, so it looks like he's an appearance on a TV show.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who that is. Yeah.
But as I said, I don't know the names, but as I said, that looks to me like it could be. I mean, especially if they're singer-songwriters, you know, if they.
It is. I can't remember who that is, but yeah, it's kind of like the Smothers.
I could try to look it up. Hold on here. I'm going to look that up.
He looks familiar. I cannot place the name.
I said, it's just that I don't recognize the name.
Yeah, it's a TV show. You're right.
Very looks like that will be. So I'm thinking, there's two names and there's three people. Hold on, that doesn't make sense.
It's Boyce and Hart Wikipedia, so hopefully in the caption of Wikipedia it says.
Yeah, I might tell you.
Boyce and Hart appearing on Sunny Sales.
Soupy Sales.
Soupy.
That's who it is. Soupy Sales. God,
I remember that name now. Soupy Sales.
Holy shit. Man, we're going back. Soupy Sales.
Let me guess. Was this a show? Was this one of these shows that was designed, that was sponsored by a broth company?
Broth. Yes. Campbell's.
Selling a lot of soup.
I don't know. Soup. But later on, he went to play on like the the Hollywood Squares. You'd see him a lot on Hollywood Squares later on.
Good God.
Yes, Glenn Campbell was good job, wow. Scott. And where's Scott's intro?
Oh my goodness.
We're getting some good stuff on the chat tonight.
Yeah, we are. I mean, people are digging this. Well, Glenn Scott Campbell has some
part of the Wrecking Crew.
Well, it's been a rough day for Scott, so this is what he has to say.
What interesting question.
Crabs from a $10 hooker.
You can't use that clip for Scott.
That leads to an interesting question, then, actually. Did the wrecking crew go round ruining power lines, which is why Glenn Campbell became a lineman for the county after the wrecking crew had ruined everything?
Lineman for the county.
That's one for the chat. The
Well,
chat is doing good tonight.
Linemen do get paid well.
No, that was a joke. It was a joke. Wrecking crew.
County.
And a
Yeah,
lineman goes around the county.
I was just,
That's a,
I was trying to stay on the tangent to that.
No, because I'm not. Sometimes I'm always aware that people. I'm always sometimes aware. Okay, I've made a connection, and maybe someone hasn't. That's fair. Because I know
Campbell, didn't he do a song called Southern Nights?
Later on. Yep.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Well, anyway, what do we have here? So, Boyce and Hart, Valerie, and what else there at the bottom? I Want to Be Free. That's not to be confused with the Queen song. I want to be free.
Yeah, that's what I'm
something like that.
Yeah.
But so, and Neil Diamond is responsible for I'm a Believer. I would have loved to hear Neil Diamond do that live, performing it himself right after Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried.
Awesome.
Oh, man. Well, he had such a look back then, too, man. That's his real hair there on his chest, folks.
Yep.
Well, all you got to do is look on YouTube there. They have a non-video. I guess he recorded it himself, audio, but there's another one. I see him and Linda Ronstadt duet, I'm a Believer, on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. I got to see
Oh,
that.
yeah, there's some other live. He did it live 2008. Yeah, man, you just got to YouTube it.
Yeah.
I will probably check that out later myself.
Well, you mentioned Linda Ronstadt. That reminds me of one of those films that had some music acts in it, FM. That's something we might want to do sometime.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a predecessor to the series
1971.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh wow, Flav.
But
good
was a
point
film.
about the Queen thing. If you look on YouTube, there I discovered this on Wednesday. See, you'd probably appreciate this being in this side of the pond. There is an AI cover of I'm a Believer, and it's AI with our current Prime Minister, and the words have been changed somewhat to be more appropriate to a politician. I will say no more than that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you could probably imagine what it is that was with Banker.
Well,
What?
Is it a cartoon?
No, it's actually CGI'd band. It is literally CGI band. And I can't remember if it's actually a band with faces overlaid, but it's literally with the faces of certain politicians asking questions, and the explanation is that what I mentioned earlier on, probably shouldn't say words like that on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't know. We say all sorts of things.
Look up YouTube and do I'm a wanker, you get a couple things. But there's one.
Be careful.
Yeah. No, there's one by a guy, Keir Stammer.
That's him.
Is that him?
That's what he's talking about. Keir Stammer.
Well, I found it. I will be watching that later.
It's
Glad I
by
don't work
him.
tomorrow.
It's by this guy, Keir Stammer.
Well, I guess I didn't catch that part.
No,
good. I'm glad we cleared that up. Well, there's another. The first one that shows is a cartoon.
Yeah.
That's why I asked that.
Yeah, that's.
I might watch that one too, just for fun.
I think That's much older, and I don't think it's the same tune. I think it's a different song with the same name. I think. I don't.
Well, the cartoon one's like 14 years old. The other one's like 3 months old. It's pretty recent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but no, but I think there is someone called. I think there was a song of that name, which is basically the same things again and again, rather than actually being a cover of another song. But yeah, this is England. This is Britain for you.
We better watch out. Lawrence is about ready to say, "Get on with it." So, Neil Diamond.
Get on with it.
Well, it is the there we go. Carole King. Yes, she did some songs.
Carol with an E. Carol
Yes.
with an E, King. Yeah. Pleasant Valley Sunday. That one actually came after they did their own instruments in the recording. So
She also did Sweet Young Thing with
Oh.
him.
that's good. That's cool. Well, this is just some, and Porpoise song is from something we'll be talking about coming up called Head.
Yeah.
Interesting. That might be something to do one week, is the movie Head.
Yeah. That would be interesting. That's what I thought you were going to, that's what B-side should have followed up with tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might not be old enough. It's probably not old enough. I don't know.
I don't know if it's in the public domain yet or not. Probably not.
Might not be.
Like even when we did Yellow
Yep, that's the
Submarine,
one
now
plus-
it's a different thing because
That's
Yellow Submarine was a bit higher quality, I think, a little more
Oh, God, yeah.
coherence there. But Yellow Submarine, we did that. Just the little clips that I chose that didn't have Beatles music in it at all. It wouldn't let it be public until they were cut out. So, that sometimes they get serious about these things. It's like, you can't even
Oh,
have
I
5-second
imagine. Well, the
clip from the
Beatles.
film.
Yeah.
Even without their music, just some dialogue in the film. Take a giant step, Star Collector. That sounds cool. Sometime in the morning. But anyway, legendary songwriters contributed music to this band. And then Mike and Peter are the ones that,
Giant step.
for mankind, for all mankind.
That's
Mike
the
and
one.
Peter. Mike and Peter could play their instruments, and they're the ones that were really pushing hard to be in the recordings.
Yeah. I think Peter kind of jumped on board with him as time went on. I think initially Peter was kind of like, "Hey, we're making money here. Let's just do what they say." But
Well, man,
as
I'm not
time went
surprised
on,
you-
Nesmith worked on him. Nesmith was vocal from the beginning, pretty much.
Well,
it's
I
an
mean, the thing is,
exception.
if they can do it, and I know the Wrecking Crew would be great musicians, but if these guys could do it, it's not like the music itself. It was some great songs, but it wasn't necessarily really hard to execute performing them, I guess, in a way that would be decent enough for what they do. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, and I mean, if you're
I
a
would imagine-
musician, you want to play music.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Exactly.
Well, wasn't
Yeah.
there a scandal later that when people found out that they weren't in their recordings, and so if they were just allowed to play from the very beginning, that scandal could have been avoided, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have all these great songwriters, so you don't have to be dishonest about that because it's common
Right.
for a lot of bands to be performers and
Yeah.
the music's written for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of artists were like that.
Well, yeah.
Well, and some did a little of both. I mean, Glenn Campbell did a lot of cover stuff,
Mhm.
but he did a lot of his own songs. So a lot of artists back then did that. The Beatles did a few covers, but they were pretty quickly into their own thing.
Yeah.
And were one of the few bands of that era that actually got away with saying, "No, we're going to play our songs." I mean,
Yeah.
they did a couple
even,
covers, but
even Elvis
Go ahead,
had a couple
Archer.
of songs. I say even Elvis had a couple of songs that were covers, didn't he?
Oh yeah, yeah.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and probably in the beginning a lot more.
Most people these days don't realize the covers. Most people think they were Elvis songs, and of course, because he made.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, a lot of bands like that. Yeah, exactly.
Songwriters don't often get, the credit that they deserve, but it's not necessarily lied about unless it was called work for hire, which is something you really do avoid.
I remember years ago now, not long after the film The Bodyguard came out. Now
Poor Dolly.
I had seen the film The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Yeah, I had seen The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas years ago, right? Because so I recognized I Will Always Love You, right? I didn't know. My sister actually told me why Dolly Parton wrote that song. But I remember an interview with someone asking Dolly Parton about was she how she felt about Whitney Houston making a big hit with that song. And Dolly Parton's reply was something along the lines of, when I wrote that song and it came the best at Whorehouse, I laughed all the way to the bank. When Whitney Houston made a hit, I bought the bank.
Yeah.
In other words, she acknowledged the fact that she was quite happy about that she'd written it. She quite understood, she's just a singer herself, obviously.
Yeah.
So you know what you're saying. Yeah, is that obviously a lot of people realize don't always, unless you're an official, unless you're a bit of a fan, you probably don't necessarily always know who wrote the songs. You just associate it with the band that sings them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But anyway,
Headquarters. There we go.
there's the album that they released a week before Sgt. Pepper's. And
Yep.
this is where they actually recorded their instruments on it. And some of the hits are from here too. So it's not like, I guess it was a sign that it could have been done that way all along and it probably would have worked out all right. I don't know. I'm just guessing because.
Well, as Mike said, I would imagine if you're a musician, you want to perform. The fact that you've got half of your quote band unquote aren't actually musicians, although are able to sing.
Well, they could sing. Davey Jones and Micky Dolenz could sing. So they're still musicians. They were just primarily actors.
Yeah, what I'm saying though is that if I'm making a difference between musicians and singers simply because if you're a musician, you play, you need,
right.
As you said, all Davey Jones ever did was hit a tambourine and
But he could sing
honest,
too.
Yeah. No, I mean for musical instruments is what I'm saying. I know you said he
right.
Which is why he was the lead singer. But I don't mean to be rude, but I would imagine that that's not the hardest thing in the world is hitting a tambourine.
No.
But whereas if you've got half of your band can play instruments and half of them can't or aren't that good, it's probably a bit harder to get it, to get him. As if everybody can do the roles they're playing, then you can actually sort of let your musicians can actually get into their flow, so to speak. I would imagine, which, as you said, I think you said is why they taught was it Peter Tork? They talked to Davey Jones. They talked to Glum. You said, didn't they? So that which probably explains why once you
Dolenz,
Micky
Dolenz, yeah,
Micky Dolenz, yeah, thank you. So once you've got those, once you've got that there, then you're in a better position. So we've got we can play it too.
But the thing is,
I understand their point
you
of view.
could still have auxiliary musicians playing additional instruments as long as the people on the album are playing instruments, as long as the band members are playing instruments, there's nothing wrong with then adding additional musicians to
And that's
that.
the key on this album. But what's interesting, and I was looking it up, is it's about half and half. They did play the instruments, but they wrote about half the songs. They still had other songwriters. Nesmith wrote 3 songs. They wrote 2 songs as a band, and Dolenz, the last song he wrote. Boyce and Hart wrote a few songs on there as well. So they played their instruments, but yeah, they wrote about half the songs on the album.
Yeah, that helped too.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't listened to this one in a while. I'm curious about the one Dolenz wrote at the end. Randy Scouse Git.
Well, he was dating and then eventually married. His first wife was British.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
he
don't
was
know.
employing some British terminology there.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that, but it's just kind of funny.
But that's why it's funnier in Britain than it is in America when you have characters like Randy Marsh.
Oh,
Because I don't think Randy has quite the same connotation in American English as it does.
no,
in
we don't
British
use
English.
that word in English, in American English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is an extremely English, specifically English title, Randy Scouse Git.
Does it have a particular meaning? I mean,
Well,
I know
so-
Git. I've heard Git plenty of
a
times.
Yes, a Scouser is someone from the northeast.
Oh, so it's kind of a regional thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Scout. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
Okay.
it's up northeast Newcastle area. A Scouser talks no, I was going to say Dave Lister, but he's Liverpool. But yeah, a Scouser is someone from, I think it's around the Newcastle area. Certainly somewhere in, it's a region of Britain, yeah.
Ah,
So yeah, it's literally, I said, an extremely regional English thing. The Randy bit being, okay, yeah, ladies' man, shall we say. Git being Git, and Scouts being someone from that particular area.
ah. Cool.
Yeah.
It's very educational tonight.
We are. We strive to be. Well, and John Stewart. We can't leave out the songwriter for Daydream Believer. Not to be confused with another John Stewart. And we actually met a John Stewart who was a composer, not to be confused with this songwriter.
Not John Stewart, the Green Lantern either. Then
There's a lot of
Or John Stewart
Stewarts.
on the talk show guy.
Yeah, there's a
on
lot of
Comedy
John
Central.
Stewarts.
There's a lot of John Stewarts.
yeah, yes.
But anyway, there
I
we
always
go.
used to think- it took me ages to find out that song was called Daydream Believer. I always thought it was called Cheer Up Sleepy Jean. A lot of people thought it was called Sleepy Jean.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But yeah, Daydream Believer. And then we have their next era, their phase where they went into film post the TV show. And
Yes.
that would have been 68. Well, I call the era, well, this is how it's broken up as far as the phases of their careers concerned, 68 to 70, even though the film was like in 68.
The film was 68, and oddly enough, I looked it up because we were talking about doing it. Sony Pictures has the copyright to it from 1968 for 95 years. I've
Oh,
never heard of
my
that.
God.
95 years. Where do you 95 years? Not 100, not 90, 95. It's like, okay,
Not-
well,
not-
I think
not 99
I
from
probably
Willie,
won't be
but-
around. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, as Istophobos said one time, I don't think my knees will hang out that long.
Yeah. well, Lawrence, yeah, I saw this movie back in.
Now we can finally play it. Anyway,
It's
but
not very good.
oh no,
It's
I
been
mean,
a
I
long
was
time
saying,
since I watched it, but it's not very good.
yeah, I saw pieces of it on a documentary, and it just seemed like some of this stuff. It was commentary, I guess, some of it about, they wanted to lose their reputation that they had as being teeny bopper, like pretend musicians.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And but it was like the way you go about it in this film seemed like the way they wanted to prove that was by, okay, well, the Beatles went Sergeant Pepper's, so we could kind of pretend like we're just as trippy as they are, and it'll work. And it's like, no, it didn't really work. It was weird, kind of trippy.
I don't understand artists that achieve success sometimes. I mean, it's like Harrison Ford with Han Solo. You are a beloved character. All right? You're going to be remembered forever, and you've made lots of money to take care of yourself and your family and probably everyone else you know. Can't you be grateful for that? Why do you have to go out and destroy the thing that people like you for? It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, Nesmith was usually at the heart of it. But here's what I find interesting about this. I looked it up because I was curious what came out first, this movie or the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour. And Magical Mystery Tour came out sooner than this. And what I find interesting is because Magical Mystery Tour came out after their manager, Brian Epstein, died. And the Beatles kind of, started doing their own thing. And Magical Mystery Tour was a major flop for the Beatles. The music was great. There's some great music, but it was actually a TV show, I think, the Magical Mystery. It was like an hour long, but it was a big flop. And then a year later, or thereabouts, here come the Monkees with their thing, and it's a big flop. I just think that's an interesting parallel.
I don't know if this is the official movie poster or not. There was like a couple, but I think it is. It looks more of the time.
Well, they probably had more than one, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it looks.
But that was like the beginning of the end. Like the TV show ended, it was canceled, and then they did this, and then they tried to keep going afterwards here and there. Like not everyone wanted to be on board. Like I think Peter left for a bit, and it kind of was at one time just Nesmith and Dolenz, and then they reunited later in the early 2000s a little bit here and there, but it was...
Nesmith made a couple appearances. That's about it.
But it's tough because when you're kind of like typecast into that, there's only so long that can go on, I guess.
Yeah, that's what people wanted.
Especially as you get older, though, you can't really be the same. You can't be the same style of characters.
Had some hits in the country music world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Mike Nesmith and the National something band, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to say. Well, I had some video clips that I could play.
I would also wonder how much of that breaking apart is down to the artificial nature of the group. The Beatles started out as a band. The Monkees started. The Monkees was a TV show.
I think the Beatles were slightly manufactured as well, folks.
Yes.
But manufactured as a band, not a TV show.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
the thing is, these guys could play. They just went about it the wrong way, and I mean, they toured as a band. In fact, people. When they found out that they weren't on the recordings, they were kind of like outraged. It's like, hey, I thought you were the band that played on the show. So it was really a band. They're a band.
Yeah, eventually. But the Beatles, though, the thing about the Beatles were, I don't think Brian Epstein didn't change their music. Their music was what they were. Brian Epstein took the Beatles. They were basically dressed in leather and kind of like, slicked back hair and shit like that. Epstein put him in suits and boots. He cleaned them up. He made them. Yeah, that's what Epstein. He didn't change the music. He did get him finally a music a contract, and that's when they met George Martin, who was kind of like got to be known as kind of like the silent Beatle or something like that. He produced most of their albums.
You're getting sorry, Mark, I hate to correct you. You're getting confused slightly there. I've seen The Simpsons. I know that the fifth Beatle was a Punahima Patalan. I know he was the fifth Beatle. He told me so on The Simpsons.
Oh yes. Well, actually, the fifth Beatle was Stu Sutcliffe, but yeah, the original bass player who couldn't play bass. So the Beatles did have a bass player because they wouldn't give him a gig. They couldn't get a gig. They said you have to have a bass player. So Stu Sutcliffe was this art dude, and they put him on the stage.
Well, we're about to hear a little bit.
Guy.
Well, this is a talk show host of sorts about to introduce Mike Nesmith. So we'll hear a little bit of this. I think we can play this. We'll see.
Monkees. He has since gone on to executive produce such movies as Repo Man and Tapeheads, and he has just released a new
executive produce movies like Repo Man and Tapeheads.
Repo Man, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
Album entitled The Garden. Here he comes walking down our hall. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Nesmith.
I don't know what show this is, but the music might get me in trouble, so I'm going to skip a little bit there.
Yeah, it doesn't look the same without the wool cap, does it?
That is
Sure
there, mister.
you.
Pineapples. Pineapples and more pineapples.
Where'd I pick me up one of those is the question.
This is from a shop down in Venice.
Is that right?
Yeah,
do you live here in Los Angeles?
Well, a little bit of the time. I live out in Santa Fe, outside of Santa Fe mostly. I try to get over here because the longer you live in New Mexico, the more turquoise you tend to buy.
I notice you're already doing a little bit
Yeah,
right
they get bigger and bigger. You know, I don't want to end up like one of those guys in a bolo tie.
Yeah,
you know,
rock the size of a football.
talking about UFO on cable access.
You know, I was a big Monkees fan when I was a kid, and I want to talk about your new CD, but let's talk about the Monkees. There's been so many misconceptions and so many discussions about what went on.
Give me a couple of the misconceptions.
Well, let me give you a couple ideas
Just
here,
tell me
Michael.
like one misconception.
First of all, let me ask you: was it a good experience for you when you look back?
For me, it was very good. There is some Amarcord. You know, I'm grown
Now,
up.
see, I don't know what Amarcord means, so.
Well, it means I remember, and it's from a Fellini film, which kind of colors the past so that you remember the good stuff. We tend not to remember the pain.
Well, part of the misconceptions, or some of the things that people talked about, said that you didn't want to go back and play with the Monkees, and that's why for 20 years you guys were split apart.
Well, you know, the press just had a field day with the Monkees by and large. I mean, one of the great and most peculiar things that ever happened to me was when the media began to report with genuine alarm that the Monkees were not a real band.
Yeah, I remember that, like Micky Dolenz and Davey Jones, for them, it was like kind of like a surprise that anyone would have a problem with it because they felt we are a TV show, pretty much.
Yeah. I thought they were a band, but then I was a kid at the time.
Right, yeah.
They were a band. They could look how if they were allowed to play from the very beginning. They are a band. There's been manufactured bands before these guys, and all we get is manufactured bands today who have less musical talent, much less than these guys.
Yeah,
so
but what
history's been hard on them big time.
Oh, it has. Yeah, but what I meant was that, I mean, as you said, there's a lot more. It's a lot more present nowadays. But the Beatles were a band that came together as a band, as a group of friends, etc., management, and they got managed, which is what managed for. The Monkees, No,
they
no.
didn't come together. They kicked out one of the guys. Having seen, I saw a Beatles documentary
Stu
way back
Sutcliffe,
when.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, Pete
because
Best, the drummer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
well, because the guy didn't fit the look of the band. He was too much of a heartthrob, and they wanted a specific look for the band. The Beatles did not come together like they didn't all grow up playing garage together somewhere. They were totally manufactured, just like these guys. They came
No,
together
I'm gonna have to
like
disagree
these
with
guys.
you on that one.
Go
The
for it,
Beatles
Mike.
came together in high school. John Lennon had a band called the Quarrymen in high school, and Paul McCartney came on. Paul McCartney saw him and taught John Lennon how to tune a guitar, because John Lennon was tuning his guitar like a banjo, because that's what he learned. Then they met George Harrison, and they started playing, and they had a few different names, but then they had Pete Best as the drummer, and Ringo Starr was buddies with George Harrison, and yeah.
So who was the guy? Who was the guy who got X'd out of the band because he was, too much of a looker, and didn't
Pete
fit
Best?
the
They
look?
did not think Pete Best fit in with they might have been right, but Pete Best did not fit in with the band, and George Harrison and Ringo were buddies.
When music is your main concern, why would you kick out one of your buddies?
Well, yeah, the concerns was to make pop stars, but they were people that played together. So it wasn't like they were just hired to play together. They were already playing together, and then that's when some coaching got involved and things kind of like changed a bit, but it was still from a band that was playing together.
That's
they were not manufactured.
Yeah.
But you're right about
just
they
altered.
Partially,
he did not fit in with the band. That was the thing.
Well,
They said he didn't fit.
Unnaturally altered, because before a producer got a hold of them, I'm sure they had chemistry, and they went out and played together and were trying to grow a career together. And all of a sudden a producer gets a hold of them, and one of the guys who was, I don't know if he was a founding member of the band or not, but he was obviously playing with them for a long time, just gets ousted because he had the wrong look. That's terrible.
He wasn't a founding member. He came on board last. The three of them were together. But the funny thing is their manager, Brian Epstein, was a local record shop owner. He was not any big producer. He was a record shop.
Wow.
I mean, he had money, but he was a record shop owner, and he walked into, I think, the Cavern, one of the places they were playing, and saw them play. And they did have Pete Best at the time. Here's the dirty part of that for Pete Best. The Beatles, John, Ringo, and they basically had Brian Epstein fire him. They didn't talk to him. They didn't do it face to face. They said, "We want Pete out and Ringo in. You take care of it." And he did. So Pete, one of the things that hurt Pete was, the guys didn't even, tell him. They had Brian Epstein fire him.
Oh,
that was kind of shitty.
What I meant was yes, you're right, lads. Obviously, they all make commitments. What I meant was the Beatles, for example, because they're obviously the ones they were a band.
Yes.
Monkees started as a TV show. That's all I meant, is that they were brought together as a TV show.
They didn't play together. They didn't know each other. They auditioned as actors, pretty much.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a good question. I'm sorry, Colin. Go ahead, Colin. I'm sorry.
No, all I was going to say was, in fact, you might say, to use a sort of a common phrase, the Beatles, the Monkees weren't a band, but they played one on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
they more than played one on TV. They could actually play the music.
Well, yeah, over time, but they had to. Well, two of them could play to start, And then they got Micky Dolenz up to speed. I mean, he could sing, but they had to get him playing
they
drums.
practiced for a long time before they ever played.
So yeah, they kind of made that happen on their own because they wanted to be real, I guess, after a bit. At least this guy was pushing for it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Liza. All I'm saying is that, yes, they did become, but originally the original reason for the Monkees coming into being was to be a TV show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Featuring a band.
That's
that's what they came in, and then, as you said, they came together. They came to be a band. It's whereas the Beatles were a band who became big. You're right. Scott's got a good question there.
Scott has an excellent question. Yes.
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah. No, I really think the bottom line here with that is that George became good buddies with Ringo and wanted Ringo in and Pete out. And he talked the other two into it. Their management had nothing to do with Pete Best being ousted. Well, their only management at the time was Brian Epstein. That was it. And they didn't have a record contract.
They're the ones who turned against a buddy they've been playing.
Yeah, and they used the manager to do it.
Yeah, they used the manager, the management, and they didn't even have a record contract yet. Yeah, he was still trying to get them.
Yeah, this was back in the day where you could build things from the ground up.
Yeah, but that's a great question.
Yeah, I would say, it's probably like anything. If you've got your basic idea, but then when you want to break out, you want to make it your living, shall we say? You want to be commercial, which is fine. Obviously, that's what most that's how we make our living. Then perhaps the music companies are going to be able to sort of say, well, we like you, we like your sound, but you're, for example, we like your sound, but your look doesn't look right for what people are looking at the moment. Could we suggest you change your style on that sort of thing? I think probably music companies are going to do, because it's in their interests that take on are successful.
Well, here's the thing: is that's something that's been an age-old thing in music.
Exactly.
Is that you had some people that were more of like the creative producer type, where they kind of know about music, than the more executive producer type that just know about selling and business and don't really know the music, and then trying to bridge the two. And a lot of times executives that had the money would just make decisions that's just bad musically. And anymore, the music industry is like that. For the longest time anymore, it's just like, you're not even getting good musicians anymore that can also have a good look. You're just pretty much having looks, and then, we'll auto-tune you to make some music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we used to have bands.
Not only that, it's got to be the same.
How far along are we on your slides and stuff?
Oh, we're done with the slides.
Oh, are we? Okay. I was just wondering. I know it's been a great night. This has been the most lively Friday night.
Well, yeah, and it's almost like playing Michael Nesmith now is almost like a downer because the conversation's more interesting.
Well, no, I've enjoyed both. I was enjoying listening to him.
Well, I have a link. I have links in the description to these videos.
I didn't know if this needed to go to a part 2 or not. I didn't know if you had a lot more.
No. In fact, if we go over, that's fine. We can go over on B-sides a bit. I mean, because they start off just talking, you know what, and then they get into it.
They're not like us. We get right down to it.
We didn't talk about the music at all, though.
But
we didn't talk about any of the songs.
Well, all I would say is I would imagine, though, that is the same across
most. What song do you want to talk about, Liza? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on. I need to have something visual on screen.
Lawrence had a lineup of songs that,
I had some of the major songs listed on those earlier slides.
But we didn't
But-
talk about him at all,
I mean,
except
the
for
thing
the
is,
composer.
yeah, I'm just going down just that list. I'm thinking,
Well, pick a song. What song would you like to talk about?
I think I recognize. Remember?
Well,
Paul.
I mean, let's the elephant in the room, the Daydream Believer,
Yeah.
and
Here's-
I'm a Believer.
Well,
Those are
I
the
will say
the
this
top two for
because
me.
some folks maybe want to know. Unfortunately, there's only one member of the band still with us, and that's Micky Dolenz.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And I mean, he's not doing this anymore. Obviously, he's just wearing cowboy hats and stuff.
Mhm.
But this might even be back from 2011. I don't know. Maybe we play this just a little bit. I mean, the Michael Nesmith. Mostly, this is. I have links in the descriptions to these videos. People could check them out. I don't want to play too much of them because, it's kind of like screen sniping. I don't think that's cool in YouTube, but it's just like showing a little bit so you see what it is. And, at least you can also see this guy used to be a heartthrob.
While we're on the topic, let me get these questions in from my mom, Cindy Jenkins of Waynesboro, Virginia. What's your favorite Monkees song, and what was your favorite Monkees episode?
Well, both of those aren't easy answers. First of all, I don't have one particular Monkees song that's my favorite. It would depend, first of all, on the genre of it. Rock and roll, ballad, that for starters. But if you break that down, I would say that one of my favorite Monkee ballads that I sang would have been Sometime in the Morning.
Okay, we can pause it right there. What do you folks think of Sometime in the Morning? Anybody?
Man, that
See, I'm
doesn't.
not familiar with that song.
No,
Yeah, there we go, Liza.
I'm
That's
sure
what
I've heard
happens
it. I've
when we
watched
do that.
every Monkey episode, but yeah.
Well, that would be one of the ones that is a little bit later. So this is the one that they would have recorded instruments on, I believe. I'm going to look it up right now. Sometime in the Morning. We can't play it on YouTube, folks.
No, it wasn't on Head. I can tell you that much. Or Headquarters.
No?
No, it was not on Headquarters.
But the thing is,
Sometime in the Morning was a Carole King song.
Ah,
I would like Elizabeth, if you like, to, for example, the TV series Fame.
Oh,
Were
here
it
we
not
go.
for the no. What am I going to say is, were it not for the fact that I've got all 5 of the albums from the TV series Fame that Kids from Fame did, I probably couldn't tell you most of the songs that they did in Fame. Even though I watched every episode of the series, I like the series.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what, in the 80s. So this is 20 years older than that one. As I said, I think I recognise 4, maybe 5 of the songs in that list that you came up there. So it's not entirely surprising that you don't necessarily remember them because there were so many of them.
Well, I just refreshed myself on it now, and I just listened to it, a bit of it. It's a good song. Of course, great songwriter Carole King. It was in her list of songs there, and I'm listening to it a bit. It's a good song. It sounds. The thing is, the recording I'm hearing, I'm wondering, maybe they did play it later, or I don't know if this is one of the ones that originally was recorded by the Wrecking Crew or not, but sounds good. What is it, Mike?
The chat is having
he's talking
an
about
amazing.
Paul is dead thing in the Beatles in the
Oh
chat.
no!
Oh, well, no, the chat's having Flav and Scott are having a very interesting conversation that
Yes, they
Lawrence
are.
and I remember having in a composition forum back when we were in school. Is like how important are visuals? How important is the packaging? And we musicians still struggle with this today, and we have to remember that going to experience music live is not just about the music. You have to think about the entire experience for the audience. And so when you sit down to write a song, it's okay to think about the lighting, to think about what you're going to wear, to think of, the venue. It's not selling out when you decide, oh, I want interactive video backdrop, behind me as part of the performance.
That's creativity too. Yeah.
Exactly. It's all of these things are a form of art, and so long as they're coming honestly from the musicians, if the musicians somehow have a say over what's happening in as far as the visuals are concerned, I think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm just talking about when
we need to throw something out to the chat here.
Oh
yeah.
I think we need to do a Friday night. We need to do the Ruddles. Have you ever seen the Ruddles?
What's that, Mike?
It's the best of Monty Python and the Beatles all rolled into one.
Yeah.
They do a spoof. Oh man,
Rutland Weekend.
Check it out.
TV.
You got 3 weeks. I'm going to be on vacation for a couple weeks.
I'm going to look this.
Weeks.
Wait, a Monty Python.
R-U-T-L-E-S.
I'm looking this up right now.
R-U-T-L-E-S.
Mike,
the Ruddles.
T,
George Harrison put up. Yeah, George. It's on George Harrison's Handmade Films. And George Harrison makes everybody and their mother makes a cameo in this.
Oh,
there was also a TV series called Rutland Weekend TV, which was a Mickey take of the TV.
But it's not all of Monty Python. It's Eric Idle and Neil Innes who wrote a lot of the music.
Yeah,
in Monty Python, in like the Holy Grail and stuff.
Yeah,
he was Sir Robin.
What was the other one?
Yeah, Eric Idle.
Yes, yeah. I see Sir Robin there. How is it that I don't know about this?
That's Neil Innes. Yeah, and the music is actually, I think, really good. But it's a parody. You check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, you're going on vacation for a couple weeks, but Colin, you're only able to join us this time because
I might be a bit free. I'll tell you about later.
Okay. We'll talk about it, but folks will keep you up to date.
I think Colin's on board with the Ruddles, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll work with you.
It just may need to be a different night of the week. We'll see.
I said there also didn't Rutland Weekend TV, but in answer to you gentlemen in the chat, look, let's be fair. Paul is not dead. He just went back to his home planet and was replaced by a robot clone. Simple. Simple. Paul just went back to his home planet when the Men in Black came after him, but he left a robot clone in his place.
See how we answer these questions on Earworms?
Yeah, we have all the answers here, man.
Oh, man, I don't know. We probably should get a government grant or something for this.
I know, right?
Either that or the government.
They should pay us for this wisdom, yes.
Oh, God.
No, well, that's one thing. That was another hard thing in music. It was like, for me, I felt that was kind of selling out, too.
Simpsons reference tonight.
Yeah.
Well, Micky Dolenz, do you have anything else to say?
Carole King and Jerry Goffin. And then for the rock and rollers, the rock and roll songs, it would be, well, again, a Carole King tune, Pleasant Valley Sunday.
That's a good one. I know
Stepping
that
Stone. So, that's a short answer. As far
Stepping Stone
I'm
also.
not your stepping stone.
Well, anyway, I have a link to this video in the description. This is a guy that has, I don't know, he has like a 4-letter TV abbreviation in his title there, so I don't know if he is a TV station or not. But
oh God.
So, do we have any questions in the chat? Because now that we're feeling our oats as a wellspring of knowledge,
very chatty tonight.
The chat has been excellently chatty. I love it.
We want
and
a shrubbery.
Oh man, you got to see the Ruddles. You're gonna laugh your ass off.
So
is it like
that
a Weird Al type of thing?
Do what? No, it's not weird. No,
but
it's a parody on the Beatles. It's
no, I know, but is it like along the lines of of Weird Al, where they would take a popular song and change the lyrics and make a funny.
Oh well, yeah,
music
they
video
take
around it?
they do spoofs of Beatles songs. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but they're well
Yes.
written. Neil, it's
Okay.
Neil Innes. Yeah, he does a
Okay.
great job. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they do all the stuff. Like, Lennon said the Beatles were bigger than God. In
Oh,
this, it's,
yeah.
he was talking to a slightly deaf reporter, and he was really saying the Beatles were bigger than Rod, meaning Rod Stewart, because Rod Stewart wouldn't be popular until later. Yeah, shit like that. I mean, they spoof So the more you know about the Beatles, the better, obviously. But
Right.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll see if I can get a hold of that. Any
It's-
other?
Definitely,
We
definitely.
did do that very well. We did
Yes.
do parodies very. We did. We used to do parody. We used to do satire very well.
Well, like I said, Harrison loved it. He put up it was his film company. He put it up and he made a
Yeah.
cameo. He's an interviewer in there, but Mick Jagger's in it. Paul Simon's in it. There's a crap ton of people in it.
Oh, that
And some of the
sounds good.
Saturday Night Live people are in it.
Wow.
Like Gilda Radner, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
Oh, back when it was good.
Oh wow.
It's
What's
freaking
this-
hilarious, man. Oh, yeah. It's
The same guys that did. Oh, good. Scott actually got the reference. I wasn't sure if he was going to get the reference there. No. What was it? Yeah, they
Scott
also
knows
did.
all.
They also did a. I think the same people, similar people. They did a thing. I can't remember what it was called. Ripping Yarns. It was called, and it was a comedy takeoff of the sort of the exactly that the ripping yarn sort of thing. The adventure type stories. One of them, I remember they did a Mickey take of Tom Brown's School Days, where they go about being a prefect gave him the right to have a Filipino maid or something like that. There was some weird.
Be careful there.
Yeah, no, but I said
You'll end up with a Filipino boy.
the same sort of sentiment. That again, that's same sort of humor.
oh, wow.
Good grief.
Yeah, I thought we'd take a look at this one. This is Mickey,
Yeah.
Davey, and Peter.
Yeah.
So Nesmith isn't in this one. Let's hear this a little bit.
How
This
long
must
ago
be a-
was this?
I think this is 2011 or 2012.
When they did their reunion tour, probably. Or one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
You know, like Ron Howard does, movies now. He learned that the same way as Mickey learned it when he was doing Circus Boy. So consequently, later on, he directed and wrote stuff. Peter directed a show. I mean, I was never really interested in doing that. I'm interested in it now. I'm interested in writing. I write songs, and I co-written a musical that hopefully will be in the West End one day. So, that changed. I was just focusing on one thing. Having done all the years in television that Mickey had done, he was able to do that. He was equipped to do it, and he was, he was aware of what was necessary to do that.
Would you say that?
It'd be interesting to look at what things they did other than that, because, Nesmith, I didn't know he had a hand in Repo Man. Well, it said
Yeah, I didn't
executive
either.
producer, so that means like money,
Money.
maybe he put up the money to do it.
In a way, you were unique in as much as you were the first guys to actually have to have that commercial realization of where you were headed.
Well, again, it wasn't a band. It was this television show.
Well, even as take it as a troupe.
About a band. And so, from my point of view, it was my second series that I'd done. And my first series, I played a kid in a circus riding an elephant. In this series, I
Did
was
you play
playing
elephant polo?
a wacky drummer in this rock and roll band. That's how I approached it originally. Clearly,
Is Peter Tork pissed off with Micky Dolenz?
It looks. I was
He
just saying.
looks pissed off. Why?
Is this
Well-
Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins again?
I don't know. Keep it rolling.
I want the tea behind that. What's
Yeah, let's
going
go.
on here?
I'll tell you what it was. Do you remember that that quite well known thing where you had Brie Larson and Jeremy Renner and someone else talking about the thing, and you could see that Jeremy Renner was just so pissed off with Brie Larson's going on about her character being Rafelson. That's a little bit what that reminds me of. I'm not sure if it is, but that's kind of what that kind of reminds me of.
Well, let's see if he gets a turn to talk here.
Okay, let's see here.
Became something else. Became huge. We went on the road. We played and all that. But for me, this was my second series, and I was quite used to the format. The same cameraman on the Monkees was the cameraman that I'd had on Circus Boy.
Irving Lippman.
Yeah, Irving Lippman. Just, only 9 years earlier. When I was doing Circus Boy, it was the same studio and the same sound stage. So it was like I was just going back to do this second series. And
how did they get an elephant on that little stage?
I have no. You never know.
And stay out
here.
You never know how successful something.
I think he's just being Peter Tork.
Yeah, it happens.
What does?
Wasn't until
But
years later
he
I
looks
realized
like
how successful the Monkees have been.
You know, it occurs to me just as we're talking here that the word for us was never. I mean, we did play as a band, but what we've been from that minute to this is a troupe.
Yeah, it's more of a troupe. That's a good way to put it. It's like a comedy, entertaining troupe, or I think of it as a show that we do. Like not a theatrical. Not
Even
like
the Beatles became a troupe as much as they were ever, and as much as the word band ever applied to them, they were also a troupe, and they never said of themselves.
That term boy band didn't even exist.
Did they all go to India to the Maharishi?
Yep, they all did.
All four of them.
Yep,
but
all four.
That term boy band didn't even exist.
No, until the Backstreet Boys type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was much later.
Boy band?
Yeah, it was
assembled and promoted and
and only sang.
And only mostly.
They don't
What
like
about the
that
Spice
term.
Girls? What about the Spice Girls?
Yeah,
Do you like them?
a girl band.
I like them.
Yeah. How about Dixie Chicks? They had two ladies who knew what they wanted, and they auditioned to many women till they found the third one that
I guess
worked for them.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons was a boy band.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's right. Dion and the Belmonts. They loved Dion, and they put these guys behind me. Said, "No, I got the guys back at home. The guys I've been singing with on the street corners sing better than this. Joe, Charlie, Lefty, come with me." And the Belmonts were, so was that a boy band?
Yeah. Well, it would be described as that now.
If they had done that, yeah.
At the time.
I think we're going too far with this exercise.
How old?
You guys.
Yeah, I don't think Peter's pissed
way
off.
too far.
I've come 5,000 miles too far to do this.
I only know that I made a mistake when I opened that tall man shop in Tokyo. That was a bad move. I should never have done that. I was over there
I
recently.
hear you were very big in Japan.
Yes, I was. I was buff. In fact, I got a standing ovation. I didn't even know it. It's unbelievable.
And Scott, when Mickey doesn't smile, he looks like a mobster here.
Well, folks, we have the link in the description to that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's not a Peter Gabriel thing. He was just being goofy.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get that word troop in.
Yeah.
We're a troop.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good description. He's right.
Yeah, Peter was always he's animated. He was always making goofy faces and shit. So, yeah, I think he was just being Peter Tork.
Okay.
Okay, because first I couldn't tell what was going on there.
No, I know.
No, he's just playing around. He's just playing around.
Yeah, no, yeah, when he put his head up, but that's where Lawrence paused it. So, yeah, he kind of looked like he was like PO'd.
Well, I'm taking a look over here because it's 9 o'clock. Yes. What?
We have Robot in the chat.
Oh! Robot! We've missed you.
We've missed you, Robot. Welcome back.
Oh, I like his comment. It's kind of like the Beastie Boys. Gotta fight for your right to party. They had to fight for their right to be the Monkees.
Agreed, Robot. Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm extremely impressed.
What a great chat tonight, folks. Good.
Well, love it.
I
mean, here's the thing. How much longer should we go? Because it is 9. Our friends at B-Roll Stage will be starting, but we could go a little longer. What does the chat say?
I'm impressed with myself so far. I managed to go 2 hours or 1 hour 36 minutes without making any reference to the nature of the Monkees being irrepressible. Damn, I've done it now.
Ah,
Irrepressible.
No, you need to watch the TV series Monkey to get that.
yes.
Is it a good series? I mean, is it a good watch?
Monkey
hell
is
yeah.
fantastic.
Okay.
And the funny thing was, at some point, I think it was after Sergeant Pepper's, they actually got to meet the Beatles. They went to a party.
I
that
saw
the
that in
Beatles
a
were at.
documentary. Yeah.
Yeah. And John Lennon said, "Oh, I love the show. Great laughs." Yeah. So Lennon was a fan.
But the Monkees were no craft work. You know, they didn't have that craft work vibe. You know.
Oh hell, they weren't trying. No, it was pop music. It was pretty much pop music.
I'm just saying that for
They
Robot.
did try to get psychedelic at the end.
I'm saying that
Yeah,
for
they
Robot.
got a
The
bit
later shows.
they got a bit avant-garde, but I felt it was a little bit forced. It wasn't natural, you know.
No, they were trying to. Yeah, they were kind of trying to. Well, everybody was trying to do a Sergeant Pepper's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that was the thing. You know, people wanted their Sergeant
Do your
Pepper's.
own thing, man. Do
Yeah,
your own
and, you know,
thing. You know?
Yeah, Sergeant Pepper's was Sergeant. I mean, to this date, it's still one of the greatest albums, you know, ever put out. So it's up there with like Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. You know, those are two of the biggest selling albums, period.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's music that stood the test of time, you know.
Yeah.
So, and the Beatles, you know, the thing with the Beatles is they weren't necessarily the first at everything. You know, some people think, you know, some of the stuff they did was the first. It was more that they were so popular that when they did it, everybody wanted, you know, people are throwing, you know, all of a sudden people are throwing horns into, you know, rock song. The Who did it, Quadrophenia, you know, a lot of bands, Moody Blues, but, you know, so it was kind of like, oh, the Beatles did it, we can do it. And of course, everybody and their mother was doing a sitar bit. Some of them pretty shitty.
Even Spinal Tap.
Yeah. I've listened to a bunch of those, and I'm like, yeah, some of these I can play better than that. And you know, like they just grabbed a sitar and we got to have a sitar on something because Harrison did it. But George actually went to India and studied under Ravi Shankar, so he was very serious about it.
He was very serious about it. Yeah.
Yes, he actually learned how to play, which impressed the hell out of Ravi Shankar, who initially said that he didn't understand why these pop musicians were playing this Indian instrument. And then later on, Ravi Shankar started doing albums with, you know, jazz musicians and other violinists and shit like that. So he changed his tune.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like it's like almost anything else. Something comes up, something new comes up, and it doesn't get much traction, and then someone with some influence, some form or other,
right,
brings it to attention, and then everybody thinks, everybody realizes it's a new thing that comes in, and the Beatles had the reach. If they when they wanted to expand onto something else, they wanted to, you know, they decided that they wanted to try Indian music, for example. Then they do it, and then because they do it, as you said, Mike, everybody leaps on a proverbial bandwagon.
Yeah, some of it was bands, but then some of it was executives saying, "Oh, we got to do that too," and that's where.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of there is a lot of that, but a lot of it was also people, you know, them doing it. A lot of it was them sort of giving permission for other Western artists to say,
no,
give
that
this
was the good thing
shot.
about it.
You might be interested. That was the good thing about it. They opened the door for Western musicians to try new sounds, to try new things. Yeah.
Well,
and executives are always going to hop on it, but it's not going to be the same as someone authentically taking those new sounds and running with them creatively, you know.
And the thing about the Beatles were when they were interviewed, they quite often would cite where they got shit from. Oh yeah, we listened to this influenced that. Yeah, they didn't try to act like, oh, we George Harrison.
Everything.
Yeah.
George Harrison.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but when they were filming Help, there was a sitar on the set. And in between takes, he picked it up and started noodling with it. That's how he got into the sitar. So it was kind of just one of those freak weird things. He picked it up. But the Beatles, George Martin, who produced damn near all their stuff, said that they were constantly coming in wanting to do different things, play different instruments, include different things. So it was very, he said he had a hard time as a, recording that stuff. He said, man, he had to be on his toes. They wanted to do tape loops and, all kinds of crazy shit.
Awesome. Yeah, playing around with audio electronics and cool stuff.
Yeah, Nesmith did several albums on his own.
Yeah.
Looking at the chat here.
Yeah, we'll be segueing over to B-side soon. They're still replaying last week, it looks like. But I'm keeping in touch here. Oh, they have a bot in their Rumble chat. Oh no, that's probably no, that's just Babs. There. That's cool. No, see, the thing is, Rumble did this thing.
But we have an Archer in our chat.
Yeah.
Or in our on our show.
Yeah.
Co-host.
Well, that's something Rumble did. They moved the goalposts back for people who are going that route for monetization. They now have to have 75 unique chats in a month.
I did not know that.
I did not know that, Robot.
What is this?
Neither. Wow.
David
More great stuff from the chat.
Yeah, I knew David Bowie
Good night,
was also a David Jones. Yeah. Yeah, he changed his name.
Flav.
Good night, Flav. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yeah.
Go to sleep with that
Good night.
YouTube video on loop.
That's usually my line. I'm glad I don't work tomorrow because I'm all animated now.
Yeah, there was a lot
good night.
Yeah, and I know that Elton John, his original name was what?
Reginald Dwight.
Yeah, Reginald Dwight.
Reginald Dwight.
Or just Reg.
Well, they called him Reg, yeah. Exactly. And Elton came from a jazz musician, Elton James. And I think he just threw John on there. But yeah, that's where the Elton came from.
I bet.
Well,
Micky
Ringo
Dolenz.
Starr was Richard Starkey.
Well, let me look that up here. I bet Ringo. No, not Ringo. What am I saying?
Cliff
Micky
Richard
Dolenz.
I got more Cliff Richard.
Oh yeah. Well, he did. It was Mickey Babcock when he did the child the circus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was under Mickey Babcock.
But was that his real name?
No, I think that was staged. I think that was they used that. I don't know. You might look that up. I think Micky Dolenz was.
Yeah, I don't know why you would make up Babcock.
Well, why do book writers, do?
Oh, his name was George Michael Dolenz Jr.
Ooh.
There you go.
He was the first George Michael.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Wow.
God, what did we do before Google? Scratched our head a lot.
No, we'd have to find out where to look it up.
Yeah.
On the cover of the Rolling Stone. Yeah, I mean, I remember when
Cliff Richard's real name is Harry Webb.
Well, a friend, a childhood guy that lived in my neighborhood, came rolling up on his banana seat bike one day it was his birthday, and he goes, "Look, I got this album from this new band." It was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. It was like months later before I found out they had a bunch of albums out before Dark Side of the Moon. But back then you couldn't just Google it, Hey, give me the disc, what all the albums for Pink Floyd. No.
Uma
Gooma. Yeah. So yeah, Pink Floyd was not a new band, but
Nope.
we didn't know any better. And they had cool posters in the album.
Oh, Davey Jones, his real name. Yeah, David Thomas Jones. Yep. There we go. That's very good. Unlike Mickey.
Very good. Very good. No,
He
I
didn't
think Mickey
need
was
a
on.
Hollywood pseudonym. Yeah. But yeah, David Bowie. A lot of Jones out there. So, anything else that people want to add, or shall we do the raid to B-sides?
Let's raid B-sides.
Well, let me set it up because I'm going to... well, actually, I
And
have
it's
the
good to
raid
have you
set up
in there
on
with us,
YouTube,
Scott.
but let me see if there's anybody in our Rumble chat. I don't think so.
I don't
Let's
know.
invade
I'm happy
that.
Scott could make it tonight.
At the risk of a slight,
That was a bonus.
at the risk of a slight down, since we are a music channel, can I just say R.I.P. Bonnie Tyler?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard about that yesterday.
What's that?
Wow,
Bonnie
I
Tyler.
didn't know. I didn't hear that. Oh.
Oh, no, I didn't either.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday on X. That's where you learn things anymore. But yeah,
I saw it on you, but someone said
she
had a
wasn't old
fine
at all.
eclipse of the
She-
heart.
Yeah,
Like,
what,
in
I mean, what
60s,
happened? Does anyone
76,
know?
I think. I think it was 50
Yeah.
was her birth year.
Yeah.
No, but she did a lot of screaming and yelling for what's his name, Jim
Oh, it's only
Steinman.
She had a great character voice, a rock
she
voice that cannot be replicated. You know, she was awesome. She's amazing. Yeah, and wow, wow, that's crazy.
And how many times is holding out for hero been memed or
Yeah.
used?
Well, yeah, it's also a testament to Jim Steinman,
Yeah.
the songwriter.
He's
Like
a
it
great
was in-
composer, but sometimes composers need an artist to write for. And I think
sure,
in many of the cases, if he didn't have Bonnie Tyler's voice in his head,
No.
he couldn't have produced.
No, he
You know,
needed her
those-
voice for
yeah,
that. He
he
needed
needed-
Meatloaf's voice, and
Yeah.
there's another story of a voice getting ruined.
Meatloaf, yeah.
I'm genuinely trying to remember if, and I know it was Jennifer Saunders was the actress that did it, but I genuinely can't remember if Bonnie Tyler did Holding Out for a Hero in Shrek 2. I know it was featured in Shrek 2, and I genuinely can't remember.
She didn't sing it though.
She didn't. No, I
no,
couldn't
it
remember.
was
I
the
didn't think she did. Yeah.
It was the actress that played the.
Oh, yeah, Jennifer
She was
Saunders,
a British comedian.
Yeah, Jennifer Saunders.
Yeah,
Used to be
she
married
did
to
a
Adrian
great
Edmonds.
job too. But she's not Bonnie
Oh, yeah.
Tyler.
No, but like I said, because I didn't think it was, but I genuinely couldn't. This is so long since I've seen it.
Well, what's the name of that British comedian that did the spoof like interviews?
Oh yes,
During
I
our theme
forgot.
songs, there was one of them that I showed where she was interviewing the guy that did the music for Red Dwarf.
Diane, something to her real name. Philomena.
Something.
Yeah. I forgot.
I gotta look her up after because her
I
stuff's
wish
good.
Diane something. And she does on her own name as well. But yeah, the character is Philomena.
Yeah, Duff or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thanks. It's great to see you again, Robot.
Philomena Kunk. It was Kunk.
C-U-N-K.
Yeah. It was something Kunk.
All right, but we are Sunday. We are doing Babylon 5.
It's Philomena Kunk. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we did get it. We did it. We got it right.
Hold
So,
on a sec, man.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to announce Sunday we're doing Babylon 5. What is it? In the Twilight or the Twilight something? Anyway,
Long
heavy.
Twilight Struggle. Yeah.
It's the end of the Centauri-Narn War. Really dark fall for Londo Mollari. Important one. Go ahead, Mike.
That link I just posted is for anyone who is poor or doesn't want to pay any money. The Ruddles thing is actually on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
That's what that link is for.
Okay. All right, good.
I don't know how good the quality is, but it is there.
Cool beans.
All right.
So you
that's
can
the
check it
homework
out.
for LB after 2 weeks or so. All right, folks. I had a great evening. Anybody want to say anything special before we sign off? It's great to see you on camera, Liza. You really help beautify the scenery here.
Yeah.
It's the beautiful backdrop I have here.
Oh, come on. I gave you my best picture of me. What more can you?
It's a
well, if I'd have known Liza was going live tonight,
you didn't put your Kiss makeup on.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said if I'd have known Liza was going to be live tonight, I might have gone live. But I came in fresh from a shower, so I was a wet head, man.
I warned Mollari.
I warned Mollari. I warned him.
Yes, thank you, Gavin. All right, so we're handing it off to B-sides. Yeah.
Actually, though, if you're going to do that, you really should say that in the voice of Nurse Chapel.
Nurse Chapel?
Yeah.
No, I get the reference.
The enterprise computers, yeah.
Yeah. No. Mike will get the reference when he gets to that episode.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody else who hasn't seen the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's a different one. Okay.
No, it is.
No, there's a guest star coming up on Babylon 5.
Yeah.
On this week?
No, this week.
No, next year, I think. Next season, I think.
Oh, next season. Okay.
Yeah,
and we're doing episode 20, right?
Yeah.
Because I need to watch that tomorrow night.
All right. Yep.
So
You won't regret
I will.
it, Mike.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next couple weekends I will be out of town.
Oh, enjoy yourself.
I plan on it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, I think I'm going to finally say this maybe for the last time.
All right. Good night, everybody.
We're calling it a night.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
All right, folks. Good night. Thanks for joining us. Now we're off to B-side.